You are short, you are awful, and that is never gonna change.
So, when's the party?
You're kinda not invited.
While some people think that famous actors are living the dream, acting is still a job. And sometimes at that job, actors aren't always going to get along with their coworkers to the point where they refuse to work with each other ever again. Paris Hilton versus Tina Fey. Tina Fey is one of the most successful women in Hollywood, but she's also famous for being fun and kind, which is why so many actors love working with her. There are very few people who can grind Tina Fey's gears, but apparently Paris Hilton is one of them. Let's just say Paris Hilton did not make a good impression when she hosted Saturday Night Live in 2005. Tina Fey complained that Paris was too self-involved and rude. According to Tina, Paris was unkind to the entire staff, but that's not all. Paris Hilton also refused to act out scenes, made fun of the other cast members for their weight, and completely bombed at hosting SNL. Tina had such a bad experience working with Paris that she said she would never do it again. Later on, Tina Fey appeared on an episode of The Howard Stern Show and was asked about her experience working with the socialite. Tina Fey replied, "She's a piece of." The actress went as far as saying that Paris was comparable to a fart in a mitten. Yikes. Jennifer Aniston versus Leslie Mann. Jennifer Aniston and Leslie Mann are two celebs you'll rarely ever see together. This is because the actresses aren't too fond of another. In fact, Jennifer Aniston has little interest in ever working with Leslie Mann ever again. The two hilarious and talented actresses have only ever shared the screen once, but that was more than enough evidently. In 1996, Jennifer and Leslie shared the set of the movie She's the One, and unfortunately their collaborations stop there. This has always been a disappointment for Jennifer Aniston in particular because she has often shown interest in starring in one of Judd Apatow's movies. But since Judd Apatow and Leslie Mann are married and Judd regularly casts his wife in his movies, this is too much of a risk for Jennifer Aniston. She's never accepted a role out of fear of being cast alongside Leslie Mann. A source close to Jennifer once said that Leslie is notorious for not getting along with the leading ladies of her husband's films, and also said that Jennifer Aniston allegedly refers to Leslie Mann as the Hollywood wife from hell. Looks like we won't be seeing these two share the screen again anytime soon. Ariana Grande versus Victoria Justice. In case you didn't know, Ariana Grande and Victoria Justice reportedly don't like each other, and it all goes way back to 2010 when the two starred on Nickelodeon's Victorious together. In an interview with Entertainment Tonight in 2015, Victoria Justice admitted she didn't think she would work with Ariana again. Victoria said, "I think we're kind of both on our own separate paths right now. I've been more focused on acting and she's doing her singing thing and doing awesome." We all saw that this came to be true. Ariana's Thank You Next music video was iconic for so many reasons, one of them being that it doubled as a Victorious reunion. Matt Bennett, Liz Gillies, and Daniela Monet were featured heavily in different parts of the vid. Who was noticeably missing from the video? Victoria Justice. Whoops. Blake Lively and Leighton Meester. Blake Lively and Leighton Meester both rose to fame thanks to the television series Gossip Girl. They portrayed two best friends who loved each other, yet in real life they weren't friends at all. While some might call their relationship polite and professional, others called it forced and non-existent. While everyone on set seemed to get along with each other, almost, Lively and Meester didn't mesh well with each other at all. One Gossip Girl source spelled out the actresses' issues with each other plainly. Leighton thinks Blake is an egomaniac who views her time on the TV set as slumming, and Blake feels stifled. She's just ignoring her co-star because she knows bigger things are in store. In response to the drama, Blake Lively's publicist didn't even really try to spin the rumors. Blake and Leighton have never been best friends and never professed to be, the statement clarified. Blake goes to work, does her job, and goes home. Except for occasionally being thrown together on a red carpet, these two actresses have avoided each other for years. Michele and Naya Rivera. You would think that if two people burst into song together, they probably have some kind of special bond. But that can't exactly be said of Glee stars Michele and Naya Rivera. The two co-stars played friends on the musical show, but as it turns out, they didn't get along by the end. There were reports that they got into a heated argument on set because Michele allegedly had the whole crew and Naya Rivera waiting on her. But Leah later said that Naya was the one who was actually thrown off the set. Eventually, their feud got so bad that they reportedly couldn't film together anymore. anymore, and that's when Naya Rivera was written off the show. That's awkward. Naya Rivera wrote about their feud later in her book, Sorry Not Sorry, saying as the show progressed though, that friendship started to break down, especially as Santana moved from a background character to one with bigger plot lines and more screen time. I think Leah didn't like sharing the spotlight. Will we ever see these two together on screen again? Highly unlikely. America Ferrera versus Lindsay Lohan. It is no secret that Lindsay Lohan has had a reputation of being hard to work with, but that didn't stop Ugly Betty's producers from wanting her on the show. America Ferrera learned the hard way that she and Lindsay Lohan would never work together again after her stint on the show. A contract was drawn stating that Lindsay would appear in the series for a total of 6 episodes. However, the actress was only allowed to complete 4 episodes due to her bad behavior. America Ferrera, the star of the show, was immediately turned off by the actress, so much so that she requested that Lindsay be removed from the show. According to the production crew, Lindsay Lohan brought on more problems than she could solve. She would show up to set with an entourage, smoked 24/7, and messed up her dressing room to the point that it had to be repainted. All in all, it's safe to say that these two actresses won't be acting together again. Jennifer Lopez versus Shawn Love Combs. Jennifer Lopez and Shawn Love Combs, formerly known as Diddy and Shawn John Combs, were once upon a time romantic, but their relationship ended abruptly and left both parties feeling somewhat bitter. The musical pair also had collaborated on many music videos and songs together. J-Lo and Shawn were an item for a total of 3 years but broke off their relationship in 2001. While a considerable amount of time has passed since their breakup, it appears that time does not heal all wounds. When Shawn Love Combs was given the opportunity to be a judge on the 13th season of American Idol, he declined due to not wanting to work with Jennifer Lopez, who was also a guest judge that season. It was said that Shawn had pretty mixed feelings about sharing the judging panel with his ex and even referred to it as awkward. In the end, the ordeal was referred to as a me or her situation, and it looked like J-Lo won. Shawn Love Combs did not join American Idol, and these two haven't worked together since. Desperate Housewives versus each other. Felicity Huffman, who was one of the stars of the show Desperate Housewives, had been making headlines in 2019 for her part in the highly publicized college admissions scandal. This extra attention brought out a lot of the drama behind the scenes of the show. It was no secret that there was a massive rift between the residents of Wisteria Lane that kept fans wondering what the real deal is after all these years. The actresses on the show were all constantly at odds. Who needs reality TV when there's this much drama in prime time? And the desperate drama didn't stay on the set. After filming the final episode of Desperate Housewives, the other ladies made it clear that they didn't want anything to do with Terry Hatcher. The cast even gave out luggage tag parting gifts to the crew, with Terry's signature noticeably missing. Eva Longoria penned a letter in 2019 for Felicity Huffman's case, claiming that one cast member was a bully and that every day at work was torture. Nicolette Sheridan sued the show's creator when her character was killed off in season 5, claiming that they fired her out of spite. There was a lot going on. Eva Longoria even said on Jimmy Kimmel that even though the ladies are sort of still friends, a Desperate Housewives remake is highly unlikely. It's safe to say we won't see these ladies all working together again. Shannen Doherty and Alyssa Milano. Shannen Doherty and castmate Alyssa Milano developed a real beef on the set of the show Charmed. The two actresses were part of the lead cast on The Witch show, but things were so tense between them, the studio had to get a mediator to try to work things out. A source inside the show told TV Guide in 2001 that it eventually became clear that either Doherty or Milano had to go. Eventually, it was Doherty who was written off the show. Milano later told Entertainment Tonight about the drama. There was too much drama on set and not enough passion for the work. I'm 30 years old and I don't have time for drama in my life anymore. Alyssa Milano reached out to Shannen Doherty in 2016 after her former co-star was diagnosed with breast cancer, and the two are now friendly again, but it's still nearly impossible the two will ever work together again. Shia LaBeouf versus Alec Baldwin. These two actors weren't getting along while working on the play Orphans together in 2014. Alec Baldwin claimed Shia LaBeouf was angry because it was taking him longer to catch up with his lines. Alec Baldwin told director Dan Sullivan that one of them had to go and they picked Shia LaBeouf. Alec Baldwin admits that Shia had memorized all of his lines prior to rehearsal and was frustrated waiting for his co-star to catch up. Finally, according to the account, Shia attacked Alec Baldwin in front of the company one day, saying Alec was slowing him down. During a rehearsal break, Alec Baldwin told Orphans director Dan Sullivan and the show's stage manager in private that one of the two actors had to leave the production and even offered to quit himself. Instead, the decision was made to fire Shia LaBeouf. Alec Baldwin recounted the moment saying he was shocked and added he had that card you get when you make films that make a lot of money that gives you a certain kind of entitlement. I think he was surprised that it didn't work in the theater. Needless to say, these two heavy hitters haven't worked together since their time on Broadway. Wesley Snipes versus Ryan Reynolds. Wesley Snipes had a hard time getting along with co-star Ryan Reynolds, apparently refusing to even call him by his name or even talk to him much. Wesley would tell the crew members on set to tell Ryan to get out of my eye line and to get his lines right. Ryan Reynolds actually laughed when he was asked if he would ever consider reuniting with Snipes for a fourth Blade movie, answering with an emphatic no. Are you hoping that some of these film and TV pairs will patch things up and work together again? Let us know which duo you want to see reunite in the comments below. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel, and thanks for stopping by The Taco. Bye for now.